and he just had the gun up to my forehead, and he took the gun away from my forehead, and he was aiming it at the ceiling, and he said, "Jesse, go home."
Black Friday, November 25th, Chesapeake, Virginia. 2 days after 31-year-old team lead Andre Bing walked into his job at a local Walmart and opened fire on his coworkers, killing 6 innocent people, including a 16-year-old, and leaving 2 others in critical condition. We have now learned that the shooter left a chilling manifesto found in his phone by police. Manifesto, an Italian word meaning to manifest, which means Bing had a clear vision of what he was going to do that evening once he got to work. His manifesto titled Death Note reads, "Sorry God, I failed you. This was not your fault, but my own. I failed to listen to the groans of the Holy Spirit, which made me a poor representation of you. I was harassed by idiots with low intelligence and a lack of wisdom. I remained strong through most of the torment, but my dignity was completely taken away, beyond repair, by my phone getting hacked. I can't say that they were the only ones who lacked intelligence and wisdom. I was just as guilty, and failed my management team and everyone that ever loved me by convincing them that I was normal. Blank and the associates orchestrating it, they laughed, they made subtle code speeches, which I eventually figured out. I thought Blank was my friend, but he betrayed me. Betrayal is one of the worst feelings next to regret. They laughed at me and said I was like Jeffrey Dahmer. I would have never killed anyone who entered my home. A few months back, I had overheard Blank talking to Blank, and he told me that he had been trying to get rid of me since day one. After I heard that, I lashed out. The associates gave me evil, twisted grins, mocking me and celebrating my downfall the last day. That's why they suffer the same fate as me. Blank from maintenance was emanating with the Holy Spirit, which I could feel. People thought she was crazy for walking out, but unlike me, she actually listened to the Holy Spirit. Like Blank knew that they were antagonizing me, so one day she approached me in person and apologized to me. On her last day, she looked me in the eyes, terrified by a demonic aura. My true intention was never to murder anyone, believe it or not. I was actually one of the most loving people in the world if you would get to know me. I just wanted a wife that was equally yoked as I and obsessed over the thought. However, I didn't deserve a wife. I hope that people will learn from everyone's mistakes and truly love God and not the material possessions of the world. My only wish would have been to start over from scratch, and that my parents would have paid closer attention to my social deficit. Sorry everyone, but I did not plan this, I promise. Things just fell into place, like I was led by Satan. I have written songs in the past though. I only did it when I realized that my phone was hacked and was giving the worst feeling imaginable. I wish that I could have saved everyone from myself. I will spare Blank. I have a special place for her in my heart because my mother died from cancer. Please Blank, let everyone know that bitter seed apricots are the cure for cancer and not the doctor. My God, forgive me for what I am going to do. Once the shooting stopped and the smoke cleared, 6 innocent lives had been taken and 2 more critically injured lives hung in the balance, including one of the victims, Blake Williams, who remains on life support, with the family in an excruciating position on whether or not it's time to take their loved one off of life support, a decision no one should have to make. The names and photos of the 6 killed have been released, and our thoughts and prayers are with all of the family and friends as they continue to mourn this tragic event. Tanika Johnson, Brian Pendleton, Randy Balvins, Kelly Pyle, Lorenzo Gamble, Fernando Chavez Barron. A receipt for the 9mm handgun and ammunition, which had just been purchased the morning of the shooting, were also located at the suspect's home. Even more chilling, the fact that the laughing gunman seemed to have targeted certain employees, mostly management, once he started shooting. A survivor who was in the break room as the shooting began says,
I was hiding underneath the table, and he told me to come out, and I had my bag, and I put my bag out first as like a, please, I don't have anything, you see my hands type thing. I slid out under the from out underneath of the table, and I'm shaking, and I probably looked like a chihuahua at that point, and he just had the gun up to my forehead, and yes, it's really hard. He told me to go home. and he took the gun away from my forehead and he was aiming it at the ceiling and he said, Jesse, go home.
President Joe Biden condemned the attack, saying because of yet another horrific and senseless act of violence, there are now even more tables across the country that will have empty seats this Thanksgiving. With America averaging 2 mass shootings a day, this all begs the question in my mind. Do these killers do it for the notoriety, knowing once they commit such a heinous act, they will be immortalized in the media, or is something much more dark and sinister going on in the lives and minds of young Americans, which causes them to lash out against the world around them? One thing is for certain, innocent people continue to pay the ultimate price, and the preciousness of life being taken when you least expect it is at an all-time high. Whether you are going to the store to get dinner, having drinks with your friends at the local bar, or just leaving your house walking down the street, be vigilant, be situationally aware, and be an active protector of your own life. Stay tuned and subscribe for the latest updates on this case as they happen. And as always, thanks for watching Curdy Flow Live.